Hi, my name is Kimberly Inez Mays. I am the automated thought leader, and in this broadcast, I'm going to talk to you all about tracking. Now, tracking gets a bad rap because nobody really wants to be tracked. Tracking is creepy, tracking is stalkerish. I don't want people to track my information. That's what I hear all the time. But the truth is that we are being tracked no matter how much we like it or dislike it. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about ways that you can use the same technologies for your own business in a not creepy way. So, before I get started, if you are listening or watching, I definitely would like you to comment wherever you're listening or watching this from, just so that I can see your comments and apply appropriately, and also share because sharing is caring. So, let's get into this. All right, so let's talk about tracking. So tracking is the method by which companies know what you're looking at, what you're buying, and also mixed with different types of data, psychographic, demographic, psychographic meaning like, okay, what are you into? What are your activities? What are your hobbies? Things like that. So that's psychographic. So imagine all this data out there, and these companies have it in these big databases. And they merge the data to make a profile about you, what you're likely to buy, what you're likely to look at, what you're likely to buy again, spend, things like that. And if you don't believe me, I can give you some examples. I have experience in this without naming names. I used to work for a big data corporation that asked me to, well, it was one of the clients, and one of my assignments were to partner with this database that the client had, and then merge that with the data that we had about the client's customers, merge that together, make a profile, and then display specific information based on a particular profile. And it was for a retailer, and we had to determine, okay, how many kids do they have, and what kind of clothing would their kids like to wear, or what kind of clothing would the parents buy for them. So that is one way of tracking. Now you may say this is an invasion of privacy. This is weird. This is creepy. I'm a coach. I'm a speaker. How am I going to use the same technology? And the truth is that you can use it in certain ways, and I'm going to tell you how. So the way that information is collected is usually through consent, or it's usually through like a purchase or an activity. So let's talk about consent. I encourage everybody, if you haven't already, to start an email list. Starting an email list is super easy, but it's super important because no matter what, you own your email list, unlike your social media account. And I'll get into social media in a second. But unlike your social media account, you own your email address. So that means that if you ever need to go from one email service provider to another, then you have the data there. You can just export it. You have all of the information. You have the email addresses, first names, whatever you collect. Social media, you don't own your platform. You don't own your group. You don't own your page. In fact, you are the product. That's why it's free to use, because when you sign up for these platforms, they are gathering information about you. They're gathering information about what you looked at, what you clicked on. And I know for a lot of my business owners out there, you're going to relate to this, because as you scroll, you may have seen ads for things that you're interested in. And this is not by accident. So every time you click on an ad or you click on something, you're telling the platform, hey, show me more of this. I'm interested in this. Everything you like, everything you heart, everything you comment on. So these are the ways that your data is collected and then merged to create a profile about you. And so getting back to email marketing is that I used to primarily work on email marketing projects, and using the data about a person, you can deliver them a specific email about something at the right time. And that's what automation's all about. And so what it looks like for a coach and speaker is, say you have an upcoming event, right? You have an upcoming event and you have a landing page for it. You send out the list of, or you send out information about the event to your email list, and you also send it out on social media. You send it out wherever it is. And you can track traffic to that email or to that landing page, first from your email. because these people are already on your email list. You already know down to the person level who has looked at your email, who has looked at your landing page, sorry, and not converted or not registered. So then you're able to say, hey, I noticed, or you don't want to use these creepy terms, but you may say, hey, do you have any questions about, my event? I noticed that you might have been interested and I wanted to just check in to see if you wanted to have a conversation about my event or something like that. Or what you can also do is have what's called a tracking pixel. I know in recent years now that is not as effective as it used to be because of change of privacy terms. But many years ago, there is a tracking pixel that says, okay, Facebook, Kimberly has looked at this but hasn't transacted. So can you just show her an ad for that? That's basically what you could have done or what you still can do in a lot of social media platforms. So there are a lot of ways that you can track people based on their activities, based on who they are, based on just about anything. So that's why I encourage everybody to at least have an email list, because some of the email campaign automations that I build rely on you having a list of people who are interested in your offer to begin with. That's just one way of doing it. That's called an abandoned cart technique, but there's so many more ways to do that. You can see who has been clicking on your content. You can score your leads, your hot leads, your cold leads. You can do all of these kinds of cool things once your list grows. Even if you have a small list, that could be even better for you, because a lot of times people will sign up for an email, but they won't necessarily buy or transact. So those are like the wrong types of people. I know other people who have asked me questions about buying an email list, and that's a whole other conversation, but you definitely don't want to do that. But if you have an engaged email list, if you have open rates that are fairly decent between, 25 to about 50% or higher, then that is a good indicator that you have the right people on your list. And you want to make sure that you are giving an extra special love to those who are opening and clicking. And you can track that. You can track so many things that people do, but it's not in a creepy way, because at the end of the day, you are here to serve, you are here to help people. And the marketing automation tools and techniques that I'm talking to you about are definitely ways that you can amplify your message and help more people. So I hope that helped. I hope that it made sense. So yes, it's really track or be tracked, but you don't really have a choice to be tracked. So you might as well just use the same techniques. So before I go, I have outlined that and some other techniques in my new book, Perfectly Persuasive: Marketing to Both Cats and Humans in the Digital Age. So if you are listening to this prior to Labor Day 2023, it is on pre-sale, and then after that it is on sale wherever you buy books. So again, my name is Kimberly Inez Mays. It has been a pleasure, and I will speak to you next time. Bye.